Hey everyone, my name is Chloe, and today I'm here to give you my first half of February wrap up. So, this is going to cover the 1st through the 14th. And you guys, I have just kind of felt like slumpy, and I don't know what the deal is. Like, I'm just not super motivated, and I've gotten through 11 things, but some of them were novellas, and it's just not really been like a usual month for me. But let's just get into it. So, like I said, have read 11 books or 11 things. Some have been novellas and that kind of thing, and I've been participating in the Black Author Readathon as well as historathon. So everything has been focused on that except for one title, which was something I was finishing up. So I'll tell you about that in a minute. But 6 of the books have come off my shelf. 5 have been from somewhere else, and so that's not bad. Like I said, I'm really trying to read off my shelves, but for the purposes of these readathons, I'm kind of straying from that. So I don't know if that's contributing or what's going on, but there were 9 adult and 2 new adult, 9 novels and 2 novellas. So maybe it's been a little better than I thought. I don't really know. All 11 were female authors, and 10 of the 11 were authors of color. My average rating was 3.59. So I had 1 5-star, 2 4.5 stars, 1 4-star, 3 3.5 stars, 3 3-stars, and 1 2-star. Yikes. I read a total of 3,173 pages, which averages out to 227 pages per day. And the publication year, I had 2 that were published in the 90s, 4 that were published 2015 to 19, 4 that were 2020, and 1 that was 2021. So I think that is all so interesting. I am loving these stats. The last one that I forgot is I had 1 from Audible, 1 from Hoopla, 1 from that was already on my Kindle, 6 from Kindle Unlimited, and 2 that were just on my physical shelf. And I don't think I've ever read 6 Kindle Unlimited books in a month, so definitely that has been great, getting me to utilize that service. So now let's just get into the books. I have, as always, I'm going to go just in the order that I read them. I'm not going to talk about them too much just because I have vlogged every single day. So if you want to hear more of my thoughts, just go ahead and go to the vlog. I will link a playlist of all of them down below, and there should be a picture of every cover in the vlog thumbnail. So any that you want to hear more, just go ahead and go to that. The first book that I read was The Wreckage of Us by Brittany C. Cherry. I gave this 3.5 stars. It is actually one of my least favorite Brittany C. Cherry books. It is a new adult about this girl who she goes to get this job as a ranch hand, and this guy has to train her, and it's kind of a hate to love. He's in a band called The Wreckage. I just thought it got a little too smutty, a little too quickly for me, and they were so young that I just kind of felt icky at times. Next is Grading Curves by Naima Simone, and this is my 2-star, actually. This is about a guy and a girl who meet. He's a tattoo artist. She's getting a tattoo. He is 24, and he's a non-traditional college student because he had to delay college to take care of his mom, and she is the teacher, and so it's an age gap. But it just got so smutty so quick, and it felt almost just like erotica, and I did not enjoy it. Next is Office Party by Whitney G. This one I actually really liked. I gave it 4 stars. This is about a office relationship, obviously. So he's the boss, and he requires that every year they take, the whole company takes a Christmas vacation together, and it is not optional, and it's just so funny. I really liked it. I thought the relationship was built up really nicely considering how short this was, and I really enjoyed it. Next is Waiting for the Moon by Kristen Hanna. This is my 3rd in the books that I was reading for my Kristen Hanna throwback vlog. So if you haven't seen that, I'll link it up above and down below. But this is one, it just kind of took me forever, but it's about a doctor who discovers this girl who has gone overboard. She really is comatose, kind of in a vegetable state, and he nurses her back to life, and it's their romance. It was all right. It just wasn't the best thing ever. I think I gave that 3 stars. Next is The Silent Waters by Brittany C. Cherry, and you guys, this one is a contender for one of my favorites. So this is a 4.5 star. This little girl was going to marry her brother's best friend, and they were supposed to meet in the woods, and so she goes to the woods and sees something very, very traumatic, and from that point on, she becomes selectively mute. then things happen, and years later, they're coming back together, and it is just so sweet and so wonderful, and I loved this book. I gave it 4 stars, but then the author's note in the end made it 4.5 stars because it is very personal to Brittany C. Cherry, and I was so emotional even about the author's note. I read the book and didn't cry, and then the author's note I was sobbing. So very, very highly recommend this one. Next is Love's Recipe by Mila Nix, and this one I gave 3 stars, 3.5 stars. This is about 2 single parents coming together to try to save this restaurant. He's a chef, she's not. They enter this competition. It is good, it is foodie, it is single parent. I enjoyed it, but it was nothing exceptional. 3.5 stars. Next was Queen Move by Kennedy Ryan. I had such high expectations for this that I think that kind of bummed me out. I buddy read this with Elena from Elena Reads Books, and I'm really glad I did because we felt very similar about it, and otherwise I would have thought I was crazy. So I gave this 3 stars. Just never really felt the chemistry between them, and this is another second chance romance. They were childhood sweethearts coming back together. Something big happened that split the family up. It's pretty predictable. I didn't feel it, you guys. I didn't feel it. Next is Indigo by Beverly Jenkins, and this one I gave 3.5 stars. Objectively, I can say this is a very well-written, well-done historical romance. But for my enjoyment, I didn't love it as much as I wanted to. So this is about a guy and a girl, a man and a woman, whatever. They meet because it's during the Underground Railroad times, and she hides him and takes care of him. He is this they're both big conductors in the Underground Railroad, and so it's their romance. It was good, but historical is just really, really hard for me, you guys. Next is You'll Never Believe What Happened to Lacey by Amber Ruffin and Lacey Lamar. The little subtitle is Crazy Stories About Racism, and this is Amber Ruffin. She is a comedian in Chicago, and her sister Lacey still lives back in their hometown of Omaha, Nebraska, and it's just all of the Lacey's stories about racist stuff that happens to her, and it was good. It did become very repetitive, which I think is the whole point of the book, that this stuff gets old really, really quick, but I really wanted more from Lacey. We almost completely are told everything from Amber, and so it's Amber trying to be funny, and it was just a weird kind of thing. I really would have liked to hear more from Lacey. And then the last 2 things I read were Landon Shea Part 1 and 2, and I loved these books. So I gave the first one 5 stars and the second one 4.5. The first one is Landon and Shay when they're young, and the second is them later in life, and it is just so good. Shay is Eleanor's cousin from Eleanor and Gray, so if you have read and loved Eleanor and Gray, I would definitely say pick this up. These, you do not want to miss them. So that is everything I read in the first half of the month. How is your Black Author Readathon going? How is Historathon going? So all of those have counted for something or another. So Waiting for the Moon and Indigo both were historical, so they counted for Historathon. And then the rest, except with the exception of Waiting for the Moon, the rest are all for the Black Author Readathon. So I am really glad that I've been able to stay focused on those and not get distracted by other books, because I have a lot coming in this month. So yeah, that is it. I would love to hear how your month is going. I've heard a few people say that February's been a little slumpy for them. So has it been slumpy for you? I hope you guys are doing great. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.